everybody. We're back at it again. I'm Lola. This is my
Makiya.
baby Makiya. And today we want to welcome you back to the platform. This is episode. We're going to do a few different subjects today, but primarily we want to respond to a couple videos. And I'm going to go ahead without further ado. I'm not going to prolong it. I'm just going to play this first video.
By Anton Daniel.
Yes.
Just got out of a breakup a few months prior, and I saw that there was a basketball game happening in Dallas. It was a Mavericks-Lakers game. So I Googled the Lakers roster, and I went ahead and followed this one dude that stuck out to me, and that was super cute. At the time, he didn't have any pictures of him and his girl on his page, so I assumed that he was single. Why did this man follow me back right away? And he messaged me like, hey, are you living in Dallas, or are you from there? Like, what's up? Where you stay? I was like, yeah, I live in Dallas. He was like, bet. He was like, I'm hopping on the plane right now. We're on the way to Dallas, but we play tomorrow night. But I got to see you tonight. I'm like, okay, bet. He also said that he was going to throw me some tickets to go to the game. I told him I'd probably just go alone, so he just sent me one. Later that night comes, he ordered me a black truck, and I went to the hotel that the Lakers were staying at. I was so scared to pull up to the hotel because one thing about players, if they're staying in a hotel while on an away game, there's going to be security downstairs. Like, not everybody can just walk in the hotel. Why did I go in the hotel and I had to tell the lady his name, what room number he was in? I had to give her my ID. I had to give her my full name. I had to sign. Like, I was like, oh my goodness, like this is a big footprint. I didn't think anything of it though. I just thought it was normal, like, you know, regulations. This was my first time meeting him. So whenever I got upstairs, I was super nervous, but everything was pretty cool. You know, at first we were listening to music, we were talking, getting to know each other. You know, he was opening up, telling me stuff about his family. I know he was just making small talk. Also, I forgot to say, but he asked me if I wanted to spend the night with him. And I was just out of a breakup, so I was like, hell yeah. I think I was literally texting my ex on the way there, talking about I'm going out to the Lakers game tomorrow. He was over here like, who is? I'm like, oh, friend, whole time it's the player. Anyways, we're not going to talk about that. After small talk, he changed the music, and I was like, okay, like, I got to bust it open now. Sorry, TMI. He was super sweet, super respectful, but one thing I'll say was I really couldn't take it. Physically.
Wow.
I'm not the type of girl just to be doing anything with anybody, you feel me? Last time I did something with my ex, so it really wasn't that enjoyable.
Yo, this is wild. This is just wild. She said that she was talking to her ex while she was on her way to get basically black trucked over to the Players Hotel. Didn't take her out, didn't have to do none of that. She Googled. And here's the worst part about it. These women are now, well, they ain't now, ain't no now. They've been like this. This is just now getting exposed.
Yeah,
they willing to talk about and expose. She's basically telling on the player, you can do process of elimination to figure out the player. And then they're not even ashamed about busting it open for a real one, openly on the platform and telling you that they doing it.
Mhm.
Diabolical.
Yeah.
Absolutely diabolical.
I agree.
And it is insane.
Let's get to work. Get to work. So after that, you know, we just called it a night. He ordered some food. We just chilled, talked even more. And then early in the morning, he did tell me he had to get up and go practice. I expected just to stay at his hotel and then like a little bit before the game, like get dressed, go to the game, and then go home and call it quits after that. So we ended up falling asleep. The next day came. He had left and went to practice, and I heard like the door opening in the hotel, but I didn't think anything of it. I was fast asleep. Y'all, when I woke up, this man literally had flowers on the bed, and then he had like a card certificate to go to the hotel spa. I was like, hold on a minute. I might do this more often because
More often is crazy.
a solo date for me. For me? Oh my gosh, I love this. I love you already, literally. Like, I don't think I've ever had a player be like, oh, you can stay tonight and book me a spa the next day. Like, I don't know about y'all, but that sounds like true love. That sounds like true love. I'm sorry.
No, it doesn't.
So I went to the spa. It was literally so much fun. I got drunk literally off of 3 drinks, but I was like, keep them coming, keep them coming. He had texted me to let him know whenever I woke up, and I did. And he was like, oh, you can stay at the hotel or like you can leave. It really doesn't matter. But he was like, let me know whenever you're about to get there and whenever you're about to leave, because sometimes my teammates are like on our floor. I was like, okay, bet. I ended up going home because I left a few makeup products at my house, and I needed to also get a Lakers shirt for the game because I didn't have anything. It's kind of ironic that I wore a Lakers shirt for this video. But anyways. So I get ready to go to the game.
That was calculated. She did that on
tickets
purpose.
are super close. Like, I'm right behind the goalpost. That's what it's called. The player that I was with actually was injured, so he wasn't playing that day. Guys, why during halftime they were playing games and they were like pretty much putting a spotlight light on people on the screen, and the spotlight landed on me, and they moved me to court seat tickets. Y'all, I was on the court side acting a fool. I was yelling at the players, I need 3 more assists because I had placed a bet on my game. Like, come on, I need 3 more assists. So the game had ended. I went home. I literally had so much fun, like so much fun. Every time I go to an NBA game, it's always something new. Like I have a blast. On the way home, he texted me like, it was nice meeting you. You know, we should definitely meet up if we're in the same city again. I saw you during halftime. He was like, I'm glad that you got a court seat ticket. Because I told him the Lakers was my favorite team. The whole time it was my ex's favorite team, and my ex was literally sick watching me sit courtside at a Lakers game because he's never been to one, and he's from LA. So I go home, I go to sleep, don't think anything of it. The next morning, I wake up, and he's like, hey, we have another day here in the city. Like, we should link up. We should go do something. I'm like, okay, bet. Let's go do something. I'm down. I love it all. Guys, why was I getting ready to get dressed to go out with him? And he was like, I need to tell you something. I was like, okay, what do you need to tell me? Y'all probably know exactly where my mind went. I was like, oh my gosh, like, are you dirty? Guys, I was stressing because what?
Here's a question. Did you bust it down for a real one with no rubber?
Of course. Of course.
We're strangers. We're strangers. Unless, like, it was like, oh, I fuck with you, you know, but it's like, come on. Guys, why was this man like, I'm in a situationship? And I was like, with who? I was like, oh, like, you're just talking to somebody. He was like, no. I was like, oh, like, you're just getting to know somebody? Like, I was like, and you're not married, like, right? Guys, this man was literally like, yeah, I have a girlfriend. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, why didn't you tell me? Y'all, this man is like, well, actually, I proposed to her, but we're working on things right now. Like, you're working on things? Like,
oh my God.
And you just, and y'all, but I was confused. I was so confused.
I'm amazed at how dumb the guys are nowadays, even with all of the information, the OGs and the mentorships.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
People fall into.
Me too.
And how willing women are willing to just tell the story and just ruin their reputation.
Yeah.
But I guess they don't care.
Because
it's always going to be another simple round way.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it all makes sense.
Y'all, my heart literally broke. I was like, what in the world? Like, what devilish activities did you just have me partake in? I'm over here thinking this is a single man.
It's still like not in the will of God.
He was like, I'm so sorry. He was like, I should have told you. But he was like, I just feel kind of guilty waking up this morning when I had such a good time with. Why are you still in my phone? Guys, so I went to his Instagram. I did some deep digging and I found this girl's page. And when I tell y'all, I requested her page because she was private. And whenever she accepted me, I'm talking about post after post. This man literally has a whole own highlight of his. And I'm just like, what in the world? So this girl never followed me back. She did watch my story that I was at the game and everything, but she never followed me back and she never opened my DM. I messaged her. I was like, hey, girl.
Why would she do that?
This guy? That's all I said. Are you dating this guy? Because maybe she would have been like, no. And I'm like, okay, then I'm good.
No, yeah, no.
Y'all, why did this girl reply back to me like weeks later? She was like, yeah, why? What's up? I was like, oh, girly, whenever he was at this away game, like me and him saw each other, I did not know he had a girlfriend. This girl gonna talk about some, why are you in my phone? Just leave it alone.
No, I agree. Like,
I'm like, I'm sorry. Yeah. Like, I thought you just wanted to know, Whoopi. I was so confused. Like, I was confused. Like, do you not care? Y'all, she literally was like, thanks, but no thanks. Have a good rest of your day. And she blocked me.
She should.
Like, sis, there's no way somebody's coming
oh my God.
And I'm gonna be like, I don't want to hear it. When they have screenshots, videos, everything. Like, sis, like, you could call up to the hotel and see who visited him that night. It was me.
Yo, y'all still letting chicks bring their phone around y'all and y'all falling asleep with them and stuff like that?
But anyways, I'm not tripping. I think sis just honestly was there for the bag. I don't blame her, but damn, he was overly going, y'all. To this day, they're still together.
He was overly going?
He started posting her, thank goodness. So hopefully, like, he's done with the roaming around. But whenever stuff like that happens, I just remind myself, it's not athletes. It's just any man in general. Don't trust a man in general. Now, whenever I go out with guys, I'm always like, okay, like, are you married? Do you have kids? Are you divorced? Are you engaged?
All right, so there you have it. You all heard the whole spiel about the young lady basically made a plan, a concerted effort to find out, to look for this guy on social media. She followed them Then of course he DM'd her. You heard the whole story. And so my question to you, once again, I'm not here to judge or demonize. However, I do believe that if people are on their way or they say that they want to be married and that they want to be respected, there are just certain things that you will not do. And there are a lot of red flags with this whole interaction. And I'll start with the two that I saw, and then Makiya, you can chime in.
Okay.
But in any event, the two that I saw was the fact that she made reference to, oh, you're in a relationship, that was devilish. And I have to tell you, ladies, if you're having intercourse or sexual interactions with men without being married to them, it's also a sin. It's not just a sin to sleep with a married man. It's a sin to also sleep, when you're not married. And, the most, I guess the most concerning thing that I have about young men, God opens the door for you to be blessed to have, an opportunity to do what only 1% of men in this society get a chance to do, and that is to play a professional sport. And you're going to squander that opportunity by aligning yourself with women because you don't have any self-control. Now, there are some things that Anton said in his review of the video. I try to stay away from using profanity, but the thing of it is he always talks about having DICKA discipline. Like, men, come on, you guys got to do better. You got to see that, if a woman is so easily and readily available for you, when you DM her and everything is yes, to the point where she's eventually in your hotel room, it's like Anton said, this is not her first time around.
No. Not at all.
And then the second thing that I noticed is that they both were okay with having, sexual intercourse without any protection. They just met each other.
Really scary.
That's kind of crazy. And
especially with how prevalent AIDS is running around in Atlanta right now. Obviously, I think they were in Texas or something.
Yeah.
AIDS is running pretty rampant there too. So to just be overly, she pointed out that the guy was overly going. It's not fair for her to put all the onus on him for being overly
it's not.
going.
I don't agree with that.
She was overly going to.
Yeah.
She knew what she was doing when she searched his Instagram,
right?
When she followed him, stalked him, and found out what hotel they were staying at. So you both were. You can't play like, oh, he was overly going. You were too, girl.
Yeah. And like I said, I don't want to like judge or like put you down, but we have to do better with regards to making decisions as to what we do with the body that God gave us. According to scripture, our bodies are the living, we should present our bodies as a living sacrifice to the Most High. And we can't do that if we're presenting it and doing diabolical things with it. Yes. You can't sleep around. You can't just go and meet somebody arbitrarily and just go and lay down. And because you're not just exchanging fluids, you're exchanging spirits too.
Yes.
There are spiritual interactions and spirit transfers of spirits that's going on. And I'm going to tell you this, from a spiritual perspective, you have to think about this. If remember the story where the man that was married, and he had I think two little girls. Yeah, he had two little girls, and then the wife was pregnant with another baby. And then he met this girl at work. He worked for some oil refinery company, and this man he went and took his children, his babies, and actually dumped them down the pipes at the oil refinery that he worked at. Then he took the wife and buried her in a shallow grave on the same site. I'm going to tell you why you can go from being in love with someone to marrying them, to having children with them, to actually doing something like that. When you lay down with somebody, the transfers of spirit, that you're now looking at that individual from the lens of a satanic or demonic entity. That is, and the only thing demons are set out to do is to kill, steal, and destroy. And so marriage is is a covenant that was ordained by God. And so everything that God created for good, Satan inverts it or he perverts it, right? Mm-hmm. So the irony behind this whole story is that the minute you go and lay down with somebody else, you are no longer looking at your spouse through the lens that you had when you originally met them. And mm-hmm. and that is why the spirit of Jezebel, the spirit of lust, whatever you want to call it, you flick your eyes, and now everything that your significant other does, there's something wrong with it. Because and you can always tell when somebody's cheating, because no matter what the other person can do,
they're always gonna find something.
They're gonna find something like, you know, why are you wearing your hair like that? Oh, you cook this? I don't like this.
My food is cold.
Right. You know, it's a whole bunch of reasons. That's because you're now viewing that person through the lens of the demon that you went and laid down with.
Right. And
so there's no way you're going to look at your significant other. Mm-hmm. And that's the same thing with the Lacey Peterson story. Same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing.
So sad.
It's always, I'm telling you, if you are cheating and if you're running around, laying around from person to person, there's nothing but destruction and death. In fact, the scripture says that when you sin begets what I got it's in Galatians. It talks about how sin when it is conceived, it promotes death. All I'm saying is if you want better outcomes, you're going to have to make better choices. And those better choices start with you realizing that you cannot use your body for pleasure, or to allow someone to pleasure themselves at the sacrifice of you reaping the negative on the back end. And I also want to let you know that according to scripture, when we sin in our body, we reap the sin back in our body. So in other words, if you go to the grocery store and you steal a loaf of bread, then more than likely you're going to lose the karmic reverse of that is you'll lose something monetarily. Something will happen outside of the body. But when you use your body for fornication and adultery, or all of the other lascivious stuff that we can do when no one's watching, and I don't want to have to go down the line and talk about each one, but when we use our bodies for that, then what ends up happening is you end up having to reap that back in your body, whether it's through cancer or, and I'm not saying in any way that everybody that has cancer has, done something terrible in their lives. I'm just saying that according to scripture, you reap the sin back in your body, if that makes sense.